بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألا أيها الراجي المثوبة والأجرار وغفران ذنب سالف أثقل الظهران ألا أيها الراجي المثوبة والأجرار وغفران ذنب سالف أثقل الظهران عليك بإكثار الصلاة واظبا على أحمد الهادي شفيع الورى ضرا وأفضل خلق الله من نسل آدم وأزكاهم فرعا وأشرفهم نجرا فقد صح أن الله جل جلاله
الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بالسنة إلى يوم الدين. All praise is due to Allah, and may Allah's peace and blessings on the last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and on all those who follow the path of righteousness until the last day. The topic of this evening, search for inner peace, is a topic which addresses a universal need. This is not something particular to any group of people, any religion, or any race or nation, etc. Human beings as a whole have this need to find inner peace, and they seek to fulfill it through a variety of different ways, from the accumulation of material possessions, which is what modern society promotes as the way for inner peace. If you have enough money, you can have a nice life, you can go on a Caribbean tour or whatever, whatever money is going to bring it for you. Or people try to find it through music. Music changes your mood. When you're down, you have nice songs that put you up and make you feel calm and whatever. Or some people try it through drugs, and so on and so forth. Some people seek it through their careers. As workaholics, they're fully into their careers, trying to find peace through it, a sense of contentment. Others try to find it through their children. When they can't find it for themselves, they try to seek it through their children, that their children would fulfill the dreams that they had for themselves. But the reality is that the majority of people continue throughout their lives with this search and end up in the end of their lives without ever finding the answer. Though Western society presents technology, development, modernization as being the solution, the reality is that 20 million adult Americans suffer from depression yearly. 20 million. Depression being the opposite of inner peace. And in the year 2000, in the US, the death rate from suicides was twice that of AIDS. AIDS is always in the newspaper, we know. People campaigning for AIDS, etc., etc. But people who are committing suicide in America, double the number of those dying from AIDS. And even those who are dying from homicides, people being just shot down, killed, the number of people who died from suicides is greater. So this is telling us something, that this society, that society which is at the peak, all the other countries are trying to follow it in one way or another, looking at it as being the ideal, the technological ideal. The answer isn't there. So if we are to identify really what is the correct route, what is the real way to find that inner peace, we need to know first and foremost what is peace itself. How do we define peace? According to the Webster's New 20th Century Dictionary, peace is defined as freedom from war or civil strife. Freedom from war or civil strife. Well, freedom from war, the world is caught up in one war after another. So that level of peace, we can say, seems virtually unattainable. The second definition, freedom from public disturbance or disorder. Public security, law and order. Public disturbance. This is what? Crime. People breaking into your homes, into your cars, etc. Well, I don't think we're going to find too much peace in that direction. I think it's pretty well gone. There was a time in the past when life was simpler, it was a little more secure. But now, that security is gone. Peace seems elusive from that perspective. The third definition was freedom from disagreements or quarrels, harmony and concord. Well, this relates to families, jobs, etc. Disagreements, we're always involved in disagreements here, there. Everywhere, there are disagreements. So, as we're looking through these definitions, it sort of seems like we can't get peace. The fourth definition, an undisturbed state of mind, an absence of mental conflict, serenity. Sounds like something very attractive, but people try to do it through yoga, through meditation, through a variety of other means. But an undisturbed state of mind, who experiences that? Probably maybe when we go to sleep for a while, we find a little bit of peace. But for the most part, there are so many disturbances in our lives, there seems to be no peace there. And the last definition, given in the Webster's 20th Century Dictionary, was calm, quiet, and tranquility. This comes and goes. There are times of calm, times of quiet, but a continual state, I think nobody experiences that. So that raises the question, is inner peace really attainable? Maybe it's just a fiction, something that we search for, which is something we can't achieve. It's beyond our means. It seems even if we were to reduce ourselves to the lowest possible level, that each one of us spent time in the womb before we came into this world, if we say this world is full of no peace, at least in the womb maybe we found some peace there. Were we in a state of peace in the womb? Or was the baby kicking and pushing? And so it seems even in the womb we were not even at peace. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had said, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. I have created human beings in toil and struggle. But it seems we're doomed not to find any peace. That our life is a series of struggles. From the time we're in the womb, we come out, even coming out into this world is a struggle. Some children die in the process. And when you look at a baby, it seems to be struggling as it's growing, trying to walk, falling, crawling. So this world seems to be a world of struggle. There are some brief periods of peace, but to find a period or a state of continual peace, it doesn't seem to exist. The world is a world of opposites. Struggles between the cold we're experiencing now and the heat in the summer. Between good and evil. Between knowledge and ignorance. There seems to be a series of struggles in our lives. Opposites struggling with each other. So, if we assume, though the situation seems to imply that there's no way to achieve that inner peace, if we assume, theoretically, that there must be a way, then it would mean that we would need to remove whatever obstacles that we're finding in life now. We need to remove those obstacles to find that state of peace. So, we need to develop a strategy as to how to remove the obstacles and to find inner peace. The first step is to identify the obstacles. What are the obstacles in our lives to inner peace? What is stopping us from achieving inner peace? We need to identify them, be aware of them, to identify them and to accept them as obstacles. It's important, because if we don't accept them as obstacles, if we deny them, then there's no way to achieve it. If one says, for example, anger. Anger is an obstacle to inner peace. Because when you get angry, your peace is gone. Whatever peace of mind you had, peace of heart, is gone with your anger. So anger is an enemy. It is an obstacle to inner peace. But if you are saying, yes, it's an obstacle, but I don't get angry, but in fact you get angry, then you're not going to be able to remove that obstacle. So one has to be willing to accept, when one identifies what the obstacles are, they have to be willing to accept them as obstacles so that they can change them. The second step would be to remove the obstacles by some solutions, identify some solutions and remove the obstacles. So that consists of two steps. First, we have to identify solutions. After we've identified obstacles, then we identify solutions. Then we have to take steps to apply those solutions to remove the obstacles. Now, when we look at the obstacles in our lives, I just mentioned one, anger. But if we look in terms of our lives as a whole, we can say that there are many obstacles. The main ones tend to be personal problems. Anger is included in there. Family issues, financial dilemmas, work pressures, and spiritual confusion. These seem to be a summary of the main areas of obstacles. But as I said, there's so many. They're like illnesses. We go through so many different illnesses in our lives. We get a cold, we get over that cold, another cold comes, we get flu, we get so many different things. To try to deal with each and every obstacle is futile. Too many of them. So instead, it would be better to determine a method, a standard method of dealing with obstacles, which we can apply now to any obstacle we find in our life. The first rule in dealing with obstacles is that those obstacles which we perceive